everybody, it's Jay Monroe, and I must say that I am still just completely amazed at the weekend that I just had. I have been attending the third annual Power Your Way Forward Women's Conference this weekend, and I was among the many phenomenal speakers at this conference, and the main theme is pushing your way forward, powering your way forward as women with many purposes and goals and dreams. And we know that that's not always easy to do. Sometimes life is going on, things are happening, things are not moving as fast as we thought they would. Things are not falling into place as quick as we thought that they would fall into place. And we just sometimes, get into the mode that we want to give up. We feel like all of our hard work is in vain. But I'm here to tell you, it's not. If you know that it is your God-given purpose, hold on. There are things in life that happen that can cause us to slow ourselves down in the process. And notice I said slow ourselves down. That means there's some accountability in there somewhere on our part. Something that we might be doing to slow our process down. And we just have to examine ourselves sometimes. There's a lot going on in our life sometimes, and there's things that are weighing us down, making it hard for us to move forward and push forward. It's seeming really, really hard to get just from one step to the next sometimes. That's because we're weighted down with so much stuff. As women, we have so many responsibilities. We have family. We have our professional lives. We have obligations to our churches and other social organizations and community organizations we may be involved in. And sometimes we just get bogged down. And then for the most part, I would say some of the things are just our life issues, our personal life issues. And that's kind of what I talked about a little bit yesterday. Issues, those issues that we have within ourselves that make it hard for us to power our way forward and move closer to our dreams. And sometimes we have to really take some time to examine ourselves, which is not always easy to do. A lot of the times we have the issues that we have with our families, our friends, our co-workers, the neighbors, our church members, and whoever else. It's because of something that we have an issue with within ourselves. And that's really, really true. We need to take some time to really look at ourselves, because if we could deal with some of those issues that we have within ourselves, maybe we wouldn't even be at a point where we could allow other things to become issues for us. They won't even have that kind of power in our lives. And one of the things we need to learn how to do is to release ourselves of some things. We tend to hold on to stuff as women. I don't know where that came from. I don't know where that started from. A lot of it, I know that we've been taught to be resilient. We've taught to be strong and hold on in spite of, and that's all great. And it is to our advantage to be able to do that in particular times. But sometimes we do need to be able to let go of things. We need to release ourselves of things. We are so full of stuff and mess and junk sometimes that we have absolutely no room to receive anything else. And that makes it difficult for us, because there's a lot of things that we could be receiving that would help us to power our way forward and move forward in our God-given purpose and destiny. But we have to make room for it. We have to take some time to identify those things that we know we've been holding on for far too long. We've been holding on to them for way too long, and it's time to release. Your power is in your release. You have to get comfortable doing this. Sometimes it's called a process of an elimination. We have to do that periodically in our lives. Take some time and do some inventory. Figure out what's going on in our lives that we don't necessarily like, or that what's in our lives. What are we allowing to be a part of our lives that we know is not good for us? What kind of habits have we developed that we know are not healthy for us? It's time to do some self-examination. Stop thinking about what's going on with everybody else. Stop trying to find out what everybody else is doing that's causing you to not be able to do what you're supposed to do. The first thing you need to do is think about what you are doing that is not allowing you to be able to do what you need to do. That's the first order of business. You are your first order of business. And then once you do that, it's easier for you to identify those other things and start eliminating some things. But everything starts with us. Everything starts with us from within. And we have to be comfortable digging deep sometimes. And it's not always comfortable to do that. You know, I tell everybody I'm my own worst critic. Nobody can ever criticize me like I can criticize me. But it is constructive criticism. I don't do the self-destructive self-talk and sabotaging kind of behavior. I've learned not to do that because that's just as critical and more dangerous than what anyone else can do to me. So I advise you to do the same. Take some time to think about what is it that you are holding on to that could be holding you back. Is it a habit? Is it a relationship? What is it? There's something. There's something that's going on there. We all have times where we need to get rid of some things. There's a time and a season for everything, just like clothes. You know, ladies, we have to go in that closet and do spring cleaning and get rid of some things that we haven't used for a long time, or it's not useful for us anymore, or it just doesn't fit into who we are anymore today. It doesn't fit our image anymore. Well, there are some other things that might fall into that same category, and you have to do the same kind of spring cleaning, summer cleaning, fall cleaning, winter cleaning, whenever it is. It just needs to take place. There needs to be a cleansing process so that you can release. You know, the whole goal is for you to be able to receive all that you deserve, but you got to make room for it. And I talk about that in one of the chapters in my book, which is called Release and Receive. It is the first chapter I wrote, but it's not the first chapter in the book. So just know that there is power in your release, like I said. So make sure you're doing everything that you can to make sure that you're in a position. You have to be in the right position. One of the speakers this weekend talked about being in the right position. That is so true. You got to be in the right position to be able to move when it's time to move. Empower your way forward. So take some time and think about it. Just get quiet somewhere and just start thinking about all the things. There are some things that you've been holding on to for a long time that you may not have even acknowledged. You are internally and maybe even subconsciously holding on to these things, and you don't even realize how they're affecting you. Get it together for yourself. Think about this stuff. It's important to do this self-evaluation thing periodically. I do it all the time, and it helps me. It's not always easy, but it's so helpful. It's so helpful. So if you are really serious about your business, about your purpose, about your destiny, make sure you're doing these things. Make sure you're in the right position so that you can move when it's time to be able to move. When that opportunity meets you, when preparation meets opportunity, it's a beautiful thing. But if you're not prepared for the opportunity when it presents itself to you, then that's a missed opportunity. So do this for me. Make sure you do this for me. And there's my phone ringing in the background because I'm always doing something. Make sure you do this. As I prepare to answer this call, make sure you take some time to think about what you need to release so that you can receive in abundance everything that you need to power your way forward. Be blessed always and have a fabulous day.